Nowadays, we don't compete with each other only. We compete with TikTok, we compete with Telegram, we compete with X.
With the World Cup coming up, where do you see the real opportunity?
Acquisition without retention is a waste of money, right?
Let's talk about prediction market.
The concept of predictions is not so new.
Can we expand on those trends a little bit more?
People are not even able to watch a movie without checking their phone like 10 times.
Do you think that's going to be the future for Sportsbook?
I'm not going to say everything about it because
What's the plans for BETBY?
this was genuinely big news, not only for iGaming industry, but for all the world.
Barcelona, Dubai, Sao Paulo, Madrid, and now we're here in Manila. And we spoke to leaders, experts, as well as industry pioneers, talking about what's happening in Asia, what's also happening with the Filipino gaming market and the wider Asian region. This series is brought to you by Kensho Media. They have been helping iGaming companies rank higher with SEO since 2008. This series is also brought to you by Quantum Gaming. They help companies with white label and turnkey solutions in emerging markets. This year we're doing with Real Roadshow initiative as part of iGaming Real Talk, where we go to iGaming events all around the world and cover the insights from the ground. Stay tuned and subscribe to iGaming Real Talk. Hello and welcome back to another episode of iGaming Real Talk. I'm here at Sigma Asia and I have Chris from BETBY. BETBY is a well-known brand at the moment. They do some things really interesting and unique compared to other brands in the category. So I'm very excited to catch up with Chris and go over some of the things as the World Cup is also coming up very soon. So Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Surya. Nice to talk to you. Excited about the opportunity to share our thoughts with the public and also excited to be here in Sigma Manila, which is always a unique experience and a unique show.
Definitely. I mean, we had a little chat yesterday at your booth and we were talking about the brand sponsorships and how you decided to go with Magnus instead of any other general football player or, other sports player. Can you talk to me a little bit about the intention behind it?
Sure. I mean, when you are trying to do some marketing around a B2B brand, the main thing is to do something that you are proud of and to do something that you think brings some correlation between the ambassador itself and the brand. We don't want to go the standard way. I saw so many campaigns in the industry with some ex-retired football players or something like that, and I don't really see the correlation. I don't see the symbolism. On our side, we decided to do, to dig a little bit deeper, to think a little. And I think generally this is something that characterizes us in our approach. First of all, we like chess. We like to play chess. Second of all, we think that chess and BETBY, as I said, they have some things in common. Like we try to think ahead and we try, to be strategic in our decisions. And chess is known for that, right? So Magnus also himself is like a special character. So it's always fun and interesting to be associated with him. We always have very nice, interesting talks, not only about business, about life, about different things. And it's a pleasure to work with him. So I think that was what powering the decision. And overall, after already a couple of years that we are working with him and we already extended our contract, I think it's working great. I think that our marketing campaign, Make Your Move, together with Magnus was super successful. And we are also planning some very unique things for the upcoming conferences.
Yeah.
I mean, that we had in ICE last time.
Yes.
Yeah. With it was not only Magnus, it was Hikaru and Gotham Chess, world icons on the same stage.
Yeah.
Never happened before, in iGaming. I think this was genuinely big news, not only for iGaming industry, but for all the world. You have top of 3 players of chess on the same stage in an iGaming event, talking about business, talking about BETBY, talking about our industry, and sharing this knowledge with the public is a really unique opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I haven't seen anything like it before. And as you said, the correlation between the personality and the brand and what it signifies and what it wants to attract from the target audience is very important, which I think you have nailed it perfectly.
By the way, sorry to interrupt you here. I have to say that at the moment we are the first and the only sportsbook which powers live chess matches on our platform.
Live.
Globally, yes. You can play live betting on chess on our platform.
Okay, that's also
pretty unique.
interesting. Yeah.
Pretty unique.
Cool.
It's not like a niche product,
yeah.
It's not like super big, it will never have the reach of soccer or, I don't know, cricket in India or something like that.
Yeah.
But we like to do things unique because we also want to be proud about what we do.
And you will be known for it.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, with the World Cup coming up, where do you see the real opportunity for Sportsbook and the special tournaments? How are you preparing for it? And what is your prediction?
Ask who's gonna win. If I knew that, would be great. For sure, I have a dark horse. I will tell you about it.
Yes.
But generally about the World Cup, what can I say? You know, like 15 years ago in our industry, when the World Cup was coming, our main, thoughts were around concurrent users, how a sport was gonna power, all these users and all this traffic on the same time. So technical infrastructure topic.
Yes.
Nowadays, this is not a problem, of course, right? And any modern
We
sport
solved that, yeah.
yeah, we solved that, and we should have solved that, and we did long time ago. And any modern sportsbook should not have, and I think does not have this type of problem. Now, I think it's more about the competition and not, the content or itself. Like, let's face it, every provider has the same events, more or less the same markets, the same
Only the same
providers.
odds.
Yeah, everything is very similar in terms of the content.
Yeah.
Then what you have to do if you want to differentiate, you have to work on the experience of the player. And then you have to have the right tools in order to work on the retention of these players. We see the World Cup as an opportunity for super high acquisition, but then acquisition without retention is a waste of money, right? So you need to be ready during the World Cup final, which is the peak of the engagement. You have the maximum number of users at that moment, right? To be able to have already planned your campaigns to retain these guys and start immediately, not 24 hours later, not 48 hours later, immediately during the final. I think the winners, in terms of operators, are going to be the ones who already planned this together with the providers for a long time, not during the last week, who established, escalation processes, workflows for already a year or more, and they have already been prepared. The retention in an event like that should be happening not only during the game, but obviously during, the time between the games, right? So you have 3-4 games every day. You need to entertain the player enough so he doesn't leave the platform, because nowadays we don't compete with each other only in terms of operators or providers. We compete with TikTok, we compete with Telegram, we compete with X. A player, if it's not going to be entertained on our platform, he's going to comment on X, he's going to comment on Telegram, he's going to be on TikTok watching the videos or whatever. So you need to be able to keep his attention.
Is so scarce.
It's tough because everything is moving like in this short-term attention. So you need to be able, with real-time notifications, with call to action, with some, gamification tools and campaigns to keep the player entertained at all times. With regards to my thoughts about who's gonna be the winner.
Yes.
Obviously we have the strong favorites. The usual suspect: France, Argentina, Spain. Obviously is a big favorite. Brazil is obviously always a strong, competent team. The stats right now don't put them in like top 3. But they're still obviously very good and can do the surprise maybe. But in terms of dark horse, I don't think they're going to win, but I think they're going to have a very good tournament. I would say Norway. They have a good set of young, ambitious, and very well-trained players, and they're going a little bit under the radar. And the World Cup is historically, there are always a lot of surprises. Surprise-oriented, and in the end of the day, that's why we like it.
It's good for the operators as well when there is a surprise.
That's how we make the money. Yes?
Exactly. Cool. I mean,
and it's also good value in Norway. So. Not betting advices, but I think it makes some sense.
We will put a disclaimer as well. But let's talk about prediction market. It's the talk of the year. It's been taking over the news, the markets as well. We have Kalshi, where 90% or more on some days and weekends and holidays, the volume, 90% of volume on Kalshi is sports content. It's a direct competition sportsbook operator, right?
In a way, yes.
So Polymarket and Kalshi, they have sliced the market for DraftKings and FanDuel. If we talk about US, because that's where it's being popularized at the moment, and Crypto.com. So I feel like the prediction market pioneers, they're trying to brand a new category, which they did, and get a little bit from crypto, a little bit from gambling, and then create their own niche and going towards it. Do you think that is going to be the future for sportsbook, wherein everything will turn into prediction markets eventually, where the crypto platforms will go there and the gambling platforms go there? Or how do you see this whole category?
It's a topic which requires a lot of discussion, because there are many ways to look at it. Obviously, the volumes are there.
Yes.
When you are talking especially about regulated. On the same time, regulated US was always a little bit different, and will continue being different from the rest of the industry. So we cannot treat it exactly as the same
as the rest of the world.
Yes.
Okay.
And the industry itself, there are a few different speeds. There is this regulated US category with some big operators, corporations and so on. And there is other very successful companies which are, again, super successful in the rest of the world, but maybe not to this magnitude and not with this type of budgets and this type of...
So you're saying that doesn't define what happens in the rest of the world, Europe especially, which is more mature and more...
Yes, Europe is different, Asia is very different, Africa obviously is very different, regulated US is a category on its own. But many trends start there and they can go to the rest of the world. what I think about predictions in general. First of all, I think that the concept of predictions is not so new.
No.
Right?
No.
We do have
Binary
previously-
options and all these things, it's 20 years we had almost.
Yes, and we have Betfair for a long time ago, yeah. And exchange betting, and okay, you can back and you can lay. In predictions, you can buy yes or no, but the concept is similar.
It feels like it is made for the purpose to, duck regulation in the US.
In a way, yes. So it's a way, the Trojan horse, let's say, something like this. But what is interesting, and we should keep it in mind, prediction markets is PvP, player versus player.
Yes.
Yeah. What we are doing mostly here is an environment where we have the house and we have the player. And in many times, people would say that, yeah, the house will always have the advantage. And it's true, mathematically, you will have the advantage. But on the same time, the house will protect the player, especially a good player, against certain things. On a player versus player environment, this doesn't happen. A smart user will win a not so smart, right?
The thing is, you can't know who is a smart user on the other side.
So it is also opportunity for some smart users to make some money, and for some, let's say, a bit more assertive users to lose some money quite fast. Also, another issue we have to consider is liquidity. Unless you are a big operator, okay, Calci, Polymarket, these guys have the volume, it's fine. But if you're not on this level, how easy is to have liquidity and be able to power all your markets? Not so easy as it looks. So what do a lot of providers do? They make a pool, then a lot of operators are joining this pool, and then, for example, I'm an operator, you are another one. My player wins, your player loses, we have to exchange money, we have to put some money on the side, to be safe from both sides, etc. It creates a lot of complication.
Yeah.
It's not so easy. I think that predictions is not, right now attending so much, let's say, .com business, okay? For sure, it's something that we want to have, and we have. We are actually the first ones to release predictions in a fixed odds betting format, so not in a PvP format. We want to have it.
What's the difference there?
So we take the odds, we take the content,
Yeah.
and we price the events ourselves, right? And it is still betting against the house. So you are betting, yes, no, the same type of markets, but against us, not against player versus player.
Okay.
Right, so we are solving the problem of the liquidity and the problem of the funds between different operators. So every player is still betting against the house. The content is the same, the markets are the same. It is very similar in terms of what the experience of the user, but it's not PvP.
Yeah.
So it operates in a fixed odds betting environment, like normal sports. Yeah, we see some trend on it, but I see other trends which are right now beating it. For example, micro betting, fast betting, like some cards on a live with the next 10 seconds. What's gonna happen? A throw in, this. I think future of sportsbook.com will move more towards that than predictions. That said, regulated US, different story.
Yes, because already we see that it's being blocked, restricted in some of the jurisdictions already in Europe, because obviously they want to protect the
Existing
long-standing
legacy operators, yeah. So it can always be a little bit political. We have to wait and see how this unfolds.
Yeah. And the other thing also, like I was always wondering, like the person opposite, he or she always has a chance to cheat with insider information.
Yes.
If the event is big and if the big players are also involved, there is definitely a possibility. I don't know how you can restrict that insider trading.
It happened a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
We all know the case. I think it was about Trump or something like this.
Exactly. Yeah, that one.
Invasion on Iran.
Yeah.
It's, people with inside information will try to take advantage on it, and there is not much you can do in order to protect it, because again, it's player versus player. So it's not you are winning the funds of another player. When you have the house, the sportsbook, the casino, it is different. Even if we have to say that in crypto sports betting right now, there is a little bit of a similar issue, because in crypto you are what we are known of. You are known for fast deposits, fast withdrawals. So the moment you win a bet, you can more or less withdraw your deposit immediately, your winnings immediately.
Yeah.
So someone can say that you can have the same type of problem. But still, you have an account, it's against the house. If you want to continue betting on this website, there is some discussion going on, so it is a little bit different.
Okay. You talked about micro betting and a couple of things. Can we expand on those trends a little bit more in terms of how they are going and what opportunities do new operators have in this area in sports betting?
Yeah, I think it's about not only about sports betting, it's about the society and the way, the demographics and the new generation. People are not even able to watch a movie without checking their phone like 10 times, You sit down to watch a movie for like 2 hours and you have to watch your phone 10 times, 100 notifications, all this social media, everything. So all this naturally makes your attention span a little bit smaller. And you are constantly seeking for some dopamine, for some call to action.
Yeah, it's sad actually, but
it is a little bit sad, yes. But we have to face it. And, I think sports betting should be about entertainment. Our industry should be around entertainment.
That's the only thing I do personally.
Yeah.
Live cricket betting, but I always have a limit and I do it for entertainment.
Yes.
Only during the matches. That's it.
And everyone has to be responsible enough. I know we talk about this, responsible gaming, blah blah blah. There are a lot of.
But the question is, who needs to be responsible?
I
Where
mean,
needs to
the
be the
player needs to be
responsible?
responsible. But then, if the player cannot, there is certain level of responsibility on the operator side,
Yeah.
right? The operators should realize that there should be, and I mean, depending on the jurisdiction, there is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
that everything doesn't work. For sure, there is big space for improvement in that area. But yeah, operators should also be a little bit responsible, to prevent some special cases. But if we leave that aside,
Yeah.
as we said, small attention span, constant demand for dopamine with
Yeah.
some call to action. So I think that's the future. Like you have an event, right? In the past, obviously everyone was pre-match. Then we started moving in live betting. Now 90% is live betting.
Yeah.
We are moving to fast betting. So we are moving to like 5-minute markets. Now we are moving to 10 seconds. What's going to happen on the next 10 seconds? How you can notify the user about that? And not only the user who is on the sportsbook and navigating up and down, right? How can you inform the user who's on casino, playing a slot?
Yeah.
Can you have a pop-up?
Yeah.
Can you have a call to action? So this
Is it a
smart.
disruption to his experience on what he is or she is
If you do it
playing?
smart, I think there are ways to do it without disrupting the experience. And from a provider perspective, what I think you need a really granular API. You need a really powerful API to be able to connect with different third parties, CRM providers, data analytics, structures. And obviously, you need the team that is smart enough to be able to track and analyze player experience. And that's what we are trying also to do here. Like we are trying to have educated decisions and not just feeling. Feelings are good sometimes, instinct is good, but education is also important.
Cool, that's a very good point. What's the plans for BETBY next few months to end the 2026?
We are releasing, what
us a
we
scoop.
think. Yeah, we are releasing. I'm not going to say everything about it because I think we are going to be able to showcase it properly in Lisbon.
Okay.
So maybe then we talk about it more.
Sure.
But we are releasing a new series, a new portfolio of games with sports betting games. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay.
not casino or something like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
But actually fits very well what we just described. And I think that this really can be a game changer in the industry. At the same time, we continue focusing a lot, obviously, on the World Cup.
Yeah.
With all our operators, we have dedicated plans, promotional plans, operational plans with all of our big clients, and not only the big ones. We are building some serious products, Surya, and people should come and talk to us.
Definitely. So thank you so much for joining and sharing these details, although we will hear more in
there
the
is
next
more
ones.
to coming on the last point.
Yes.
I am not allowed to say more yet. I want to see it first.
Pierre is
properly.
watching.
Yes, guys. I promised. So come find me in Lisbon, and I'll have something for you.
Thank you so much for watching. That's it for today. Do share your thoughts in the comments below. Do share your prediction as well. Who's going to be the winner for the World Cup? And I'll see you on the next show. Thank you.